Welcome to St. Joseph Academy online video classes. This video is of geography for class 6. In this video, we study about a sixth chapter of geography, that is study of continents, in that particularly North America. This is the last part of this chapter. In the earlier videos, we studied the topics which is related to North America and its geographical features and climate and all the things we studied. Here we are going to look at the case study. Lumbering is an important activity in North America, economical activity. So we are going to study in detail lumbering in Canada. Okay, what is logging and what is lumbering? All the things we will study in detail in this particular video. First of all, lumbering in Canada, the region stretching from the south central Alaska to the northeastern coast of Canada has short, warm summer and long, severe winter with snowfall. This region is having high coniferous forest, and this region is mainly having an activity of lumbering. Okay, it's economical and very much elaborated activity here in this region. Okay, so once again we are looking at the region where we can find lumbering is a major activity in Canada. The region stretching from the south central Alaska to the northeastern coast of Canada. Okay, this is the region. Here the climate is a short, warm summer, very warm summer for the shorter period, and a severe winter with a long period. And in that winter, uh, snowfall also we can find. This region has a evergreen coniferous forest. You know, in these most trees are evergreen, and most of the trees are coniferous. Evergreen means the trees uh, all the year, throughout the year the trees have green color, and the trees will not shed their leaves anytime in the year. So another thing is a coniferous trees you can find over here, that it's a conical in shape, we are cone shape, and the trees have uh, needle shaped leaves. Such trees are called coniferous trees. So here we can find such trees, and most part of this area is under forest. So we can say that this forest is coniferous forest. Otherwise, we can call it a boreal forest. In Russia and the nearby Russian areas, we can call this thing as taiga. Okay, for regions of the has large number of timber trees such as pine, Douglas fir, spruce, cedar, and hemlock. These are the important trees you will find in this forest. And the speciality of these trees are softwood trees, so which is used to mainly for making paper, pulp, and plywood. Lumber and plywood are therefore important products of Canada's forests. Cutting woods and transporting it to sawmills and pulp factories. This work is known as logging. Here the definition is given: cutting the trees and taking the wood and transporting it to the sawmills or the pulp factories. The work is called the logging, and it is done by lumberjacks or loggers. The other name of the lumberjack, that is loggers. Okay, here mainly this lumbering, that cutting the tree and taking that things into the factories, that is done in the winter season. The cutting the tree for and cutting into the smaller size and uh, to transport to the factories. These things happen in winter season. And in springtime, the transportation, mainly earlier times in spring season, they are transporting the logs, means wooden pieces, trees, piece of trees transported to the uh, factories. Throughout the season, means winter season, loggers live in the camp, log cabins at the lumber camps set up in the forest. You can see on the right hand side of this screen, you will find that one picture of lumber camps. Okay, in this lumber camp, this is called the lumber camp. Okay, this part. Okay, this picture you can see different houses will be there, logs will be there, log cabins will be there, which is made out of wooden pieces. Okay, these cabins constructed for temporary use. Okay, so for the winter season. Okay, different cabins, some cabins are kitchen, some cabins are mess houses, some cabins are workshops to repair the tools of the loggers. Those who are cutting the tree, they are using some tools to repair the tools. They have workshops and all, and some daily using items they are selling in a one shop. Another one is office of that particular site, and different kind of type of logs long houses cabins you will find in this particular log camp, so which is normally near to a forest or something, some places. Okay, or near to these long camps you will find the landing site. We will discuss about the landing site later. Okay, so this is the setup which they made at the time of winter to cut down the trees into smaller sizes. The trees are fell and cut into logs, means that the smaller part of the, you can see that here, smaller part of this tree is called a logs. Okay, it is cutted and make it into smaller size. Okay, the smaller part of the tree is called logs. Okay, standard size. No, every all the logs are in a particular length, all same size only. Okay, the logs are tied together and stacked at the landing site, often on a frozen river. Means normally in the river now, by the time winter time the rivers are frozen. Okay, so that is they will keep the logs over the river water. Okay, over the freezed water. Okay, when winter come, all the river is freezed, so they will keep all the logs on the freezed water, over the freezed water. When spring comes, the water started to melt, so the wooden pieces which kept over the water, the freezed water will float in the water. Okay, in spring season, so it is easy to transport over the river to the sawmills. Okay, so they will keep in the frozen river all the logs, and in spring the river being begin to melt. These huge piles of the logs floated to the mills located on the banks of the river. Most of the mills, sawmills, and factories, wooden furniture factories, and all the factories, the factories which is related to the wooden work. So that is Mm. That is the factories which is using wood as a raw material. Those factories are located normally on the either banks of the rivers. So it is transporting over the river in the earlier times. Now it is used to transport over train, truck, different tractors, different sledge, different things are using to transport these logs to uh, sawmills and factories. Okay, logs may also transported to or by road or rail. So there are landing site and mills near the roads and railway too. Landing sites, you can see that this is landing site. Truck is loaded by the wooden logs. Okay, so truck is used to carry the wooden logs to nearby sawmill or factory. Okay, in the past loggers, this we can call the log landing site, where we will kept it all the logs altogether. So in the landing site, it is kept, and from there they are using truck, railway, all those things to transport these things to the mills. Okay, in the past, loggers led a very hard life as they had to work 6 days in a week and they had to put in lot of physical labor. Okay, earlier times there is no machines, no trucks. Okay, it is very difficult to transport things from forest area to the factories. Okay, wood from forest area to the factories. Now, the situation is changed. Now, felling in the early days of logging. Now, felling in the early days of logging, trees were felled mainly with the help of axes. Earlier, we use axes. Axes, axe. Okay, same axe is used for uh, here. I don't think. Any of the picture here they're using some axe. Okay, nowadays we have power driven this kind of chainsaws, we have otherwise we have this kind of crossroads. Okay, so which is used to cut the trees nowadays. Crossroads or power driven chainsaws. Okay, power driven means mission saws like this one. Okay, so this kind of machines are used. Okay, for felling small trees, harvested and feller bunches may be used. So this kind of machines are there to fell the smaller trees. Okay, which help to cut the trees into proper size. Okay, and fitted with the machinery that can grip the cut down the whole tree. In a single mission itself, we hold the tree, and in the single mission itself cut down the whole tree into smaller tree. So here, again, we are going to look at the logging in a particular way. Okay, first of all, the what is the job of logging and how it's done, all those things we are going to study in detailed way. The limbs, branches, and the top of the trees have to be cut first. First, what they are going to do now, people first started to climb the tree, and while they are climbing upwards, they will hold one rope like this. Okay, and they will cut entire branches of that, and when on the top side also there is not that much thick, so they will cut the top and branches also, and they will put a rope like this. Okay, so for doing this job now, one particular people are there to do this job. Thus, people are called the high riggers. Okay, the people climbing to the tree and they will put a rope over the top and they will cut down the branches. Some of the limb branches, very short branches. Okay, and these people is called high riggers. Okay, and after that, now they why they are doing this? Okay, why they are doing keeping a rope at the top? It will help the while cutting down the down part of this tree. It will help to direct the tree to fall on a particular place. Okay, which will not damage the other trees nearby it. Okay, while falling the tree from it will avoid the tree to damage the other trees nearby it. Okay, so that's why this kind of rope is placed on that. So next we are going to look at the bucking. Bucking. Another important job is bucking. This is called bucking. Okay, a felled tree after felling that delimbed tree has to be cut into logs, small logs. A long tree fell down. After that, the tree is cutting into standard size of logs. Okay, this process is called bucking, and the loggers who specialized in this job is called buck sawyers. Okay, skidding and hauling in the past logs were skidded to the dragged to the landing site by sledge. Okay, a particular vehicle is used to drag these things to the landing site. Okay, there is no in the ice winter season all the area is covered with ice, no, so that over the ice there's sledge, you may say reindeer is pulling the sledge in, no, in the um, Santa is coming in a sledge. It's a vehicle which is not having a flat surface is there about that bike at the bottom. Okay, the which is used to skid from the ice. Okay, so that kind of vehicle is called a sledge. That sledges are used to drag the logs to the landing site. While they are doing this work in winter, all the areas is covered with the ice, so it is easy to uh, pull or skid the logs to the landing site. Till the introduction of railway, this was done mostly in winter season, as now as the snow on the ground made it easier to drag the loads. Earlier it was done in winter season only. Now all the season is suitable for cutting the trees because railway is there, trucks are available, and power driven machines are available, which made the process uh, easier, and it can be done any season. Okay, the sledges were drawn by oxen, mule, or horses, especially prepared snow-covered path called skid roads. You might, I don't have the picture of skid roads. Just checking whether we no, we don't have that picture of skid roads. Okay, so a particular path is there. Okay, that path is used to travel. I will try to show one picture of skid roads, just 1 minute. Here in the right side you can see one particular path is made for transporting the logs to these factories. This kind of road is called the skid roads. Okay, so after that uh, we talked about this thing is done by, in this is a kind of sludge. Okay, so logs will loaded on the sludge, and it will drawn taken by the horses will ride the sludge over the ice. It's easy to drag the sludge over the ice because wooden piece will easily move over the ice. So sledges were drawn by horses also, no? That is what shown in that picture. Okay. Um, the logs who loaded on the draw and the sledge were called skidders. Okay, the people those are here. You can see some people are loading the logs on the sledge. These people, and they are taking this to the landing site. Okay, so these people is called um, here skidders. Okay, skidders. Okay, so nowadays logs are transported from the forest to the landing by tractor, truck, and even helicopter. Sometimes the logs transported by other overhead cables. Some if it is in the mountain area, there will be an overhead cable, and through the cable itself they will transport the logs to the nearby landing site. Okay, so after that, here in this slide, we are going to study about at the landing site, the owners will put a mark on the logs. They will keep some emblem on the each logs of different owners will cutting down the trees. Now, those who are cutting down the trees, in whose name it is cutting down, so that name will be marked on the particular logs. Okay. After that, from the landing to this mill, logs are usually transported by trucks. Normally, we earlier picture we saw that it is loading on a truck. Okay, here you can see here it is loading on a truck. Okay, usually it is from the landing site by using truck they are transporting. Even railway lines also there to transport these things. Okay. Mhm. Sometimes they are floated down river like this. One boat will be there and they will put the logs on the river and it will float on the water, and easily it can be transported to the nearby mills. Those are the mills which is located on the river side. On the wider and slower river, means normally a wider river and a slower river are choose to transport these logs to the mills. Okay, it chained together means logs are chained to form raft and pulled along the boat. With the help of boat, it will pull and it will chain together. First they will chain together all the logs and it will pull by the boat. Okay, and to avoid the distractions in the way, one person will be there and he remove all the distraction, all the things in the way. okay, and make the smooth run of the logs over the water. Okay, in the past, floating was usually usual way of transporting logs to the mill. Some loggers specialized, some people are specialized to drive these logs to the factory. Their job was to clear logs jam. If anywhere some part of the river there might be bricks and all, sorry, rocks and all. So in that part they will clear the logs. Okay, clear the they will clear the obstacles in the way on the floating. So and all those things they will remove and they will clear the way for the logs. Okay, that at the mill, the one at the near to the mill, they will have a pillars in the water itself. Okay, called booms. Okay, a barrier or pillar is there in the water itself. Okay, so the pillars will stop the floating of the uh, mm, logs. Okay, so made that booms or pillars are made in on the river to stop the floating of the logs, and uh, the logs are then sorted according to their marking on the separate different owners. Okay, marking to separate the different owners of logs. After sorting, they are cut it into planks and beams as required by the owners. Okay, these are the normal procedure while we are doing the logging in Canada. So we studied that Canada having a lot of forest area. Okay, nearly half of Canada is in forest area, and around 75 percentage of these forests are in the boreal zone. Okay, means a coniferous forest. Okay, among the boreal forest, there are thousands of lakes and many rivers, which are available source of fresh water. So if the trees cut down, then the water source also going to be dry. So they are very careful to manage these trees, deforestation and all those things. And at the same time, they are planting trees. Okay, we will see how they are going to they are conserving the forest, how they are conserve this resource. The forests are also home to a wide range of wildlife, and okay, and most of the tribal communities that have been living in Canada since ancient times in the forest only. Many some people, tribal people, and different wildlife we can find in the forest. So they are carefully managing the forest. Logging and the manufacturing forestry products are major industry in Canada. Uh, they contribute significant to the country's economy and providing jobs for large number of people. Okay, hence forests are very important to Canada environment and society and economy. The country has therefore framed strict laws and policy to protect the forest from destruction and to make sure that forests remain in healthy. Okay, most of the forests are on public land, means government land only. Most of the forest. Okay, only few part of the forest is in the hands of a private people. Okay, so logging is practiced in such a way that only a very small portion of the forest is cleared every year. And they will not cut all the forest, only a small portion of the forest they will cut every year. At the same time, all along means those who are logging companies, all logging companies, those who are cutting the trees, how to plant saplings, small plants of new tree or seeds in the areas where they harvest, so that the forest can grow back. Okay, that is the policy they have. Means if they cut trees, they have to plant new trees in that place where they cut. So after some times, the trees can grow up and again can be a grow back, and it can be a forest area again. Okay, after years. Okay, so this way they are managing the forest. Okay, even though they're having 70 percentage of forest, They are cutting down only for few area, very small portion of the forest, because carefully they are managing this resource carefully. And if anyone, any logging company is practicing logging in a particular area, after cutting the plants, they have to, uh, after cutting the tree, they have to plant the new sapling in that area. So this is all about this chapter. Here I am going to wind up this chapter. If you having any doubts, you can always watch this video. Otherwise, you can contact your teachers for clarification in the online classes. Okay, so here we are going to wind up this chapter over here. So all of you go through the points to remember and exercise and get practiced. Okay, so have a nice day.